Good afternoon, my friends. It is Tuesday afternoon, about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am here in Markham. The weather's mild. There's snow outside though, so I am happy to be inside, crafting, staying warm. For the sake of this video, I turned off my heater. I don't know what it is, but my basement is freezing. But it could just be because it's a basement and it's winter and it's freezing. But you know what? Sometimes in the summer it's freezing too, just because of the way the air condition runs around here. So I guess it doesn't matter what season. I'm pretty much always in sweaters down here when I'm working. So I'm excited to hop on today because there's a few announcements to make, to share in the Stampin' for Fun world. I actually just got home from meeting with Ritson Road Crafts, my friend Jenny, and we were talking about collaborating together. She makes wonderful wood pieces, and I thought it would be super fun to make some sort of home decor item for spring, for Mother's Day. So you'll have to stay tuned to see what it's going to be. But I'm really excited about doing a home decor class coming up. So I just got back from that. I had a nice brunch and catch up with my friend Jenny. What else is happening? We have just a few weeks left till the end of February. So what does the end of February mean? It just means that my Sweet and Simple class is coming up at the end of the month. It's always the last Wednesday of every month. Oh, let me show you the cards we're going to make there. If you're just tuning in, make sure to say hi. I love to connect with you. I love to know who's on so I don't feel like I'm talking to the air. But let me get my Sweet and Simple cards so that you guys can see a few of them. I don't know if I have all of them right now. I don't know what happened to the other one. I know there's a fourth one, but I don't know where I put it, where it went to. But anyway, oh, I think it fell on the floor. Okay. But this is one of the cards we're going to make at my Sweet and Simple class next week on Wednesday. It's usually the last Wednesday of the month. And I just decided to go with kind of soft spring colors. Hi, Diane. Soft spring colors for this month's Sweet and Simple, even though it still feels like winter out there, but spring is going to be here before we know it, so we got to be prepared and make some spring cards. So I used kind of that lovely purple posy to make an Easter card, but again, if you don't celebrate Easter, this would also be a great baby card because at the class you can always change out the sentiment. And then this was one of the cards we made, I think last week on Tuesday at 2. We're going to make it at our Sweet and Simple class. Showcasing some of the new paper. Isn't that some pretty paper there? And then, last Wednesday of the month is always Sweet and Simple class. If you're in the area, come on out, enjoy, take a load off, enjoy some snacks, stamp some pretty cards. If you bring a new friend, you get to make an extra bonus 5th card. The end of the month always also reminds me to tell you that my technique class is coming up. So that is on the first Monday of each month normally. So this month, I guess it'll be, oh my gosh, it's March already. So it'll be the last month of celebration when my next technique class happens. And the theme is splatters. I called the theme splatters, but we're doing like a million other different techniques in the class as well. Well, okay, not really a million. It might feel like a million. But can you see that kind of white splatter background on there? At the class, you'll learn how to make that. We'll also be doing some fun watercoloring, embossing. So this is one of the cards for technique class. Technique class, the cards are always fancier. They're just always fancier. So you definitely get more of a taste of things. Now, if you want the technique class to go, let me know because there are tutorials that I can email you. I can mail you the card pieces and everything. Okay, so if you want the technique class to go, I can arrange that. But I love this card. I just wanted to show you. I'm super excited about technique class. That'll be on, I think it's March the 2nd in a few weeks. Okay, so that's those classes. Good afternoon, Bev. Good to see you on. Okay, so any other announcements that I should be telling you about? There is going to be, it has been announced that starting, I believe, March 1st, there'll be some new Celebration products that are available for free with your qualifying order. So actually, this card uses one of the new Celebration items. I don't know if you can see, this is a fancy piece of vellum here. It's like an already embossed piece of vellum. So that's one of the new Celebration items that'll be coming March the 1st. And you will get to earn that completely free with your minimum $60 order. So Celebration is almost done. Boo-hoo, it's so sad. March will be the last month to take advantage of those freebies. Hi, Shelly. How is it out there in Alberta? Okay, so why don't I flip the camera over to show you the other announcements. Just a reminder about another class coming up because the deadline, oh no, I'll tell you about one more, is the retreat in a box. My weekend retreat is pretty much full up, the live event that I do the weekend of April 17th. But I do a box option, either for those that aren't able to come or didn't get in before it filled up, or for those of you who are long distance. So let me tell you about my retreat in a box. It's something special. What you get is inside the box, you'll receive the same gifts that my live retreat attendees receive. So I love to shower them, kind of surprise and delight them with little what I call pillow gifts. So you also will receive those pillow gifts. You'll also get, if the pillow gifts aren't obvious how I made them, you'll get tutorials or instruction on how to make them so that you'll know. And if you want to make some for yourself, you can. You'll get 3 make and take projects that'll be cut and prepped for you. And you'll get the instructions and photos on how to create those in your box. As well, you'll get a goodie bag valued at over $30 included in your box. And then you have the chance to win prizes, just like my live attendees. And then I always offer optional classes at my retreat. So if you decide to add on any of the optional classes, you would get free shipping on any of the optional classes, because I'll just stick them all into the same box. So it's a great way to kind of enjoy the retreat experience without actually being there with me if you prefer to stay at your own home or finances are an issue, because the retreat in the box is only $75 and that includes the shipping to your door. So it's a great experience for those of you who have tried it before. If you haven't, give it a try. It's kind of a little gift to yourself, to give yourself permission to craft and enjoy your crafting space and craft whatever you want, but at the same time you get some inspiration from the box, whether it's from the pillow gifts, whether it's the tutorials that I send. You get the 3 make and takes, and you get a goodie bag of goodies to play with. Okay, so treat yourself to that. The registration deadline for that is March the 17th, because I prepare everything for my live retreat attendees and my retreat in a box attendees at the same time. So you're gonna wanna get in on that, because I won't be able to cut and prep for you afterwards. So okay, so that is it. I've been having re-emergence of the internet problems. I don't know if you remember back before the holidays, like Facebook was deleting my posts and things, and I wasn't sure why, and so we kind of got it back up and running, but I noticed it's sort of happening again. So I'm hoping this video stays up so that you guys can continue to enjoy. I'm not sure why it's happening, but if you need any information from me, you can always private message me or text me or anything. If any of these Facebook posts disappear into somewhere no random land. You gotta love technology. I don't. Okay, so enough of that. Let me flip the camera around. I think we've got some people who've joined in, and make sure you say hi so I know that you're with us, and we'll flip it around. We'll do some stamping and sharing here. Oh, I'm sorry it's cold out in Alberta. Okay, I just heard a piano going upstairs. I don't know what that's about. Okay, let's see if I can get that there for you. Oh, it looks really blurry. Is it my imagination? Oh, there, we seem to have straightened up a bit there. Okay, guys, so welcome to another episode of Tuesday at 2. Every week on Tuesday around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I love to share some stamping inspiration. So anything you see, if you like it, you can always head to my online store, genevieve.stampinup.net, click the Shop Now button, and you can shop to your heart's content. Now, this month for February, if you use this host code here with your order, as long as your order is $50 or more, you'll get a free package of gold faceted gems. So they look like this. Of course, you would get a brand new full pack, but just so you have an idea. Okay. Hi, Jamie. Okay, great to have you on here. Okay, so one last announcement before I dive into the stamping, because we are nearing the deadline to register for this. I believe the deadline is something like maybe March the 14th. So just one more month. The Botanical Prints Stamp Camp. So this is like a mega camp. And so there's 3 ways to enjoy it, because you're going to get 12 different projects using the Botanical Prints Medley. So the Botanical Prints Medley has loads of beautiful things in it. Okay, so you would actually get this whole medley included. The little bees, the designer series paper, the ribbon, the stamp set, the dies, all of that would be included in the class, because you're going to create 12 different projects with it. Any extra pieces that you would need, like cardstock bases or anything, I would send to you or I would give to you if you take the in-person class, which is on Wednesday, March the 25th. Oh, here it is, the RSVP required by March the 11th. Okay, and so that's 6:30 on Wednesday, March the 25th, and you'll get everything pre-cut and prepared for you, and the Botanical Prints product medley. The other way to enjoy it, if you're not able to come out live, is to take the to-go option. So again, basically you would get everything, as well as the tutorials and photographs, so that instead of making it with me, you would make it in the comfort of your own home. Okay, so just keep in mind that the Botanical Prints medley, product medley that I showed you, by the time you add the tax and shipping, it's about $118. So my class is just really $10, because it's $128, but that includes the Botanical Prints product medley, and $10 towards is the class fee for the tutorials and for the extra pieces of cardstock you'll need. Okay, and then the other way to take advantage of this is to just purchase the medley. You can email me and let me know you want it, or you can shop on my online store, and I'll know that you've purchased this medley, and I will send you the tutorials absolutely free for all 12 projects. And because Celebration is on, any one of these options will earn you a free Celebration reward as well. So that's an additional like $15 value, at least, added on. Okay, and we all love free stuff. So here's a little sampling. Now you'll notice that I said 12 different projects. I said projects because they're not all cards. So maybe about 9 of them are cards. So here's a sneak peek of some of the cards that you'll make. Aren't they great? I feel like I was wondering why I was so drawn to them, but I think it's just the artwork, kind of the provincial French kind of look to them. Very European. It's so just so nice. And then here's an example of a non-card project. So it's like a little tea bag holder. Okay, and that would be wonderful to make and gift to somebody to kind of brighten their day. Okay, so this gives you an idea of the projects that will be part of the Botanical Prints Stamp Camp. So make sure you register for that soon. Okay, so let's dive in here. I'm looking to see whether I can find my glasses. Yes, it's true. My glasses get buried underneath all my blocks. Okay, let me grab my glasses. How's everyone doing out there? Does anyone remember what the product of the month is this month? Each month on my Facebook Lives, I like to share a product of the month. Can anyone remember what it is? Da-da-da. It's the Beautiful Moments stamp set. So, as you may recall, the first week that I used this set, I used it to create a scrapbook page. And then last week, I used it to create this card here. So if you tuned in last week, you would have seen how I created this card and which products I used to kind of create it. We even put a little bit of shine onto this lady's dress here. And don't forget, if you see anything you like, you're welcome to shop. Just make sure you use the host code so that I can give you your free gold gems there. Okay, so who's curious about what we are going to make with the set today? I was really happy with what I made. Sometimes things come to me easier, sometimes it's a little harder, but this is going to be the Whisper White thick cardstock. I've already cut it at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored it right there. Okay, so that will be our card base. And then here, this is the Seaside Spray cardstock, 5.25 inches by 4 inches. And what I'm going to do with that first is I am going to emboss it. So I don't know if you're familiar with this embossing folder. It's called the Subtle Embossing Folder. So it doesn't have a very distinct pattern, but what it does, I feel like, is when you put the cardstock in, okay, so you could put your card, it depends which way you want the lines going, but I think I want them going up and down. And I like that they have a line here so that I can keep my paper straight, or at least check if it's straight. Are you curious? Yes. I was very happy with my card. I hope you like it. And you just put it right into the folder. So we're going to emboss that, and I feel like it gives the paper like almost a linen look to it. So let's run that through with our embossing die cutting machine. So with this one, this is one of our older folders, or I bought it a while ago, so it just needs the platform, and we'll put that on, and then one of the clear cutting pads right on top. Okay, so we'll run that through. Okay, and so hopefully you can see it on the camera, because this folder, it does not show well in the catalog at all. It is much better used and experienced than looked at in there. Can you see? There's just a subtle texture. I feel like it almost makes the paper kind of seem like linen. It's so pretty. So I find I use this folder when I'm going for I want some texture, but I don't want it to overtake the card. I don't want it to be like overly embossed, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's, hang on. We've got that. This will be our base. So why don't we adhere that together? I don't know where my snail went to. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put that onto our base. Okay. Have you guys done any stamping lately? Feel free to share what you've been stamping. I love to hear. Okay. Okay, so that's our Seaside Spray layer on top of the Whisper White thick base. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this crumb cake cardstock, put my cutting pad here, and I don't know if you're familiar, these are the heirloom frame dies. So I thought about these dies because they're so nice for kind of centering and framing certain images. There's like an oval shape and a rectangle shape. So these are called the heirloom frames dies, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut it out. Okay, so we'll cut that. I'm going with the oval, although I'm sure the rectangle would have been lovely too. Roll it through, and then it cuts the shape. Let me show you what it looks like. Oh, I need my tool to poke it out a bit here. Have any of you used this die before, the Heirloom Frames die? It's easily overlooked in the catalog because it's actually sold together. You can't get just the dies. The dies are sold together with the embossing folders. Okay, so what's really, I don't think they have another cutting embossing combo bundle like this where you get embossing folders that match with the cutting dies like that as a one item purchase. Okay, so I've cut this out, but I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to do it with some Whisper White paper, which I didn't get ready here. Let me see whether I can find a piece for us. Okay. I'm going to have to cut a piece. I had a Whisper White thick, but since I'm using the blends markers, I don't know if you know, but they really recommend the blends markers that you use our regular Whisper White. Not that you can't use the Whisper White thick, I don't think, but they recommend ideally when you're using blends markers to use the Whisper White cardstock as well as Memento ink. So I thought maybe I should just follow the rules here. So I'm going to cut out exactly the same shape. See, I already cut one out. I'm going to cut another one out in Whisper White. Okay, I don't know. Do you guys like this strategy where I don't show you the final project and you kind of build it? It kind of builds and you guys are left in suspense until the final thing kind of shows up? Or do you like me to show you the project in the beginning? Tell me what you think. Okay, so, but we're actually going to use this white part. But I'll still poke this out because we can save this for another project. Okay, so let me move this die away. I don't want to lose it. I don't know. There we go. And then what we're going to do is, you probably guessed it already, is I am going to emboss this with the corresponding embossing folder. Now, because these are the newer embossing folders, we really have to remember to use the blue plate. So let me run and get my blue plate. You still use this platform. And then we just need the blue plate to do our embossing. Just because the thickness is a little different. This thickness is different. Okay, Diane says she likes the suspense. Okay, well that's good. Let me know what others think. Then you don't know what I'm making till you actually see it. Okay, now this part I found a little bit tricky. What I did was I put the paper in and I just basically tried to line it up with the embossing folder. Okay, so I'm just going for trying to make sort of an even border around it. And so this takes a little bit of fiddling around until you kind of get it where you like it. I don't know if there's like a trick to it, or maybe I could look at it upside down or kind of hold it like that. Shelley likes the surprise too. Okay, that's good. Is that a bit better? Oh no, that's way off. Okay, well, talk amongst yourselves while I try to fiddle and make it as even as I can. It's hard to make it perfect, especially when you feel like you want to get it perfect. Sometimes if you're not even thinking about whether it's going to be perfect or not, you end up getting it bang on the first time. It didn't take me this long the other time I used this, but let's see whether we can kind of line it up a bit. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, really it doesn't. Okay, that's not bad, I think. We've kind of got it centered in here. So we'll put that down and we'll put the blue plate on top and we'll roll and emboss. Okay, there we go. Can you see what happened there? Now the frame has a beautiful embossed layer and it's like raised up, kind of like a real frame. Now the reason why, even though it seems a bit fussy to cut it out and then really try to line it up, what happens if you do it the other way? If you emboss it first and then try to cut it out, can you see that it, like if you cut it out afterwards, running it through the Big Shot sort of flattens all the embossing you just did. Can you see the difference there? So I would really recommend that you cut first and then emboss, because you get a much more crisp 3D effect with the emboss coming afterwards. Okay, so is that all we need the Big Shot for? I'll just move it to the ground for now, and if we need it, we'll bring it back. Okay, so I thought that frame was stunning. as Diane said, and I feel like it was just calling, right? Calling to highlight this beautiful lady in here. Or you could even do, actually these kids would look great too, but it's too late. I already designed it, but any of these would really work really nicely inside this frame. Okay, now I don't know if I mentioned, but it is the product of the month this month, the Beautiful Moments. And I like this set so much that I'm actually going to be doing a class with this stamp set. This class will be in April, the last Wednesday in April for the live class. And of course, to go, it'll just be mailed to you and you can do it on your own time. So I am going to take this white piece that I had previously, it's the inside of this one, right? And I am going to stamp our beautiful lady in, I think I did her in, I broke the rules a bit. I know they recommend the Memento, but I thought it would be really nice in the soft suede. So I'm gonna stamp her with the soft suede. Hi, Sherry. So whoever's just tuning in later, or, you know, a little bit later, I've already jumped right in to do the stamping demonstration using our product of the month, which is the Beautiful Moments stamp set. There you go. Ah, beautiful image. Stampin' Up! Stamps are beautiful. There's no doubt about it. So we're going to let that dry a minute before I take my blends markers to it. But what I am going to do is I can take our beautiful frame and I can already layer that on. Okay, I can either, actually I might use dimensionals and give it even more effect. It already looks 3D because of the embossing, but why don't we pop it up a bit more? Our dimensionals are fantastic. There we go again. I think I talked about it last week, that I just basically rip them off and throw them on the side. So everywhere in my house, dimensional backings. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, and then let's color in our lovely lady here. I'm using the, do I have, oh no, this is Balmy Blue. I don't want Balmy Blue. I want Seaside Spray. There we go. So we'll just do a little bit of coloring in here. We're going to just add some color to her dress so that I love Stampin' Up's coordination. So we've got Seaside Spray cardstock. We're going to use the Seaside Spray blends marker. Now the blends marker are alcohol-based markers. They are special markers. So it means that when the lid is off, they do dry pretty quickly. So you want to make sure you recap it right after using it. But the reason why we don't care that it dries, or because the alcohol-based markers just give such a smooth blending finish to the card. It doesn't, water-based markers, they sometimes give a bit of a streaky look when you're coloring large areas. So this helps. The alcohol markers, they're like my favorite, okay, coloring tool lately, because it's not hard to do and you get a very professional sort of finish there. Okay, so we will pop that right on here. We're going to use our dimensionals to pop it up. If you're just joining in, don't be shy to say hi. I love to share stamping with you, and I especially love to share stamping during Celebration, because Stampin' Up! Gets to give us all free stamps when we shop, when our order is $60 or more. Okay, so we'll try our best to line it up. Might not be perfect. Okay, there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll take a little bit, where's our Whisper White here? And let's stamp a sentiment. So I'm going to go with the Thinking of You sentiment and grab that. So if you want to make these 4 cards, not able to make it, you'll still get all the pre-cut, pre-embossed card pieces sent to you. Okay, there we go. So let's stamp that. We'll get back to our soft suede. Hope the connection's okay. I saw a little funny notice come up. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is acting up. Okay, so thinking of you, and we'll use the 1-inch circle punch. I love our punches. They're so easy to use. Even a kid could use them, really. You just stick it right in, frame it, and then you've got that. And then so many of the punches are coordinating. So for example, oh, this is the 1 3/8. No, the 1 1/8. Hello. Yeah. So then I'm going to use the 1 1/8 scallop circle. And let's, oh, there was a little glitch. Sorry about that. Okay, so where's my Seaside Spray paper? It's one of the in colors. I don't know if you can see on camera how gorgeous this color is, but it is perfect for spring, that's for sure. Okay, so let's stick that on there. And there, our card is finishing up. See how the two punches mat so nicely together? You've got an immediate little border just by punching it out. And maybe we can pop that on here. Have a little sentiment on there. And the finishing touch, of course, is we've got to have an embellishment. An embellishment really gives that final little jazzy part to it. So this is actually perfect, the Seaside Spray linen ribbon, because it turns out it's actually the colors that I'm using here, the Seaside Spray and the crumb cake. So doesn't that go perfectly? So I just thought I'd do a little bow. And when I do bows, I just do 2 bunny ears, cross it over, and then kind of tuck the loop. Here, I'll do it bigger so you guys can see. Bigger bunny ears. Okay, got the 2 bunny ears, cross it over, and this kind of loops through into this hole. Now, because this ribbon has a, like you can see, there's like a right side and a wrong side to this ribbon. So what I do actually is I just twist it behind so that the 2 tails are the same at the bottom. Okay, so that's the way I like it anyway. You could do it differently, but I like it like that. Okay, so let's cut this, and then that'll be our finishing touch to the card, which we will use a glue dot to attach. Okay, so what do you guys think of this project? This card will also be one of the cards at my Beautiful Moments class at the end of April. And don't forget, even if you can't come to the class, you can order the kit to go. Okay, and the great value about that kit is you will get the stamp set included. If you already own the stamp set, don't worry, you just substitute, you pick another stamp set that's included with your class fee, but when you do the projects, you use this stamp set. Okay, but if you don't have that stamp set, when you sign up for the class and pay for it, you'll automatically get this with the kit that includes all the card pieces. So at this class at the end of April, the in-person class will be the last Wednesday in April, which means it'll ship out probably the last Thursday in April for those of you doing long distance. You would get to make 8 cards, 2 of each design. So already in this Facebook Live, the post is a little bigger than I like, but you guys get the idea. This week and last week were 2 sneak peeks of the cards that I will be doing in the class. Can I show you the other one? I don't know where it went to. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's already 2 cards using this stamp set that will be part of the Beautiful Moments class that you can take to go or in person at the end of April. Okay, so I always have tons of classes going on. Many of them can be taken to go, or you can do them in person in Markham. And oh, thanks guys, I love the hearts, and thanks for letting me know. Thanks Jennifer, great to see you on. I'm glad you like the cards. So yes, if you want to get the pieces to make them, just let me know. I can sign you up for the to take it to go class. Okay, so that is that. Did I tell you the cost? It is $45. and it includes the stamp set and includes all the card making pieces for that. And then again, if you need anything, you can always shop on my online store. Just make sure you use this host code. If your order is $50 or more, you will get brand new, this is a used one, a brand new free package of gold faceted gems from me. So that is a special perk for shopping online, just to say thank you for shopping online and using that host code. Okay, so thanks for tuning in this week, guys. And yes, Jennifer, it does include the instructions. It'll include all the tutorials so that you can always save the tutorials and do them later or whatever. But if you're taking the to-go kit, you will get all the pre-cut pieces. You'll get the embellishments, everything you need. Okay, so thanks for tuning in with me this week. I think I covered all the things I wanted to cover for now. And I hope you guys have a great week, and that you stay warm, and happy stamping. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, Tuesday at 2. Bye for now.